All right, you were just hearing from Nicole Maliotakis of New York, and she's just not talking about the indictment that we're expecting later today against Raúl Castro for the role that he is reported to have played in the Brothers to the Rescue shootdown, but also laying the situation that she says of the Cuban people suffering at the hands of the Castro regime, something that has been happening beyond the 3 decades that we've been talking about since the shootdown, but since the revolution actually happened. Let's bring in now Dr. Andy Gómez, UN professor of Cuban Studies and a longtime expert on U.S.-Cuba relations. Good morning to you, Dr. Gómez. And I don't know if you had a chance to hear any of the press conference from out there in D.C., but this is something that you and I, Dr. Gómez, have talked about, which is the Cuban-American members of Congress from right here in South Florida and how they have pushed for this indictment. They've pushed for changes on the whole to Cuba. You could say the same for the Secretary of State right now, Marco Rubio, also a Cuban-American. I was hoping that you could talk about the role that they have played on making sure that Cuba is a priority for President Trump.
Well, they've been talking about it, and as Mario Diaz-Balart said, his brother who passed away not too long ago, and Congresswoman Ileana Ros-Lehtinen play a significant role in bringing it to the eyes of the United States Congress. There's one point that I want to clarify, though. We're not bringing Raúl Castro to justice as important as this announcement is today. An indictment is only showing proof of somebody that has committed a crime. Bringing somebody to justice is trying that individual in a U.S. court. And I sincerely doubt there's anybody in Cuba that is going to turn Raúl Castro over to the United States, or Raúl Castro is going to surrender himself.
Yeah, that's a really good point, Dr. Gómez. We touched on that earlier this morning. He is 94 years old. He turns 95. Correct. On June 3rd. And as you've mentioned, you can't imagine there's a world where somebody within his own family or in that party that would go ahead and hand him over to the United States to deal with justice and to face justice here in the United States. Dr. Gómez, thank you so much for joining us this morning. We're going to continue to follow the developments out of Washington, D.C. And just a reminder, that press conference from the DOJ is happening here in South Florida at the Freedom Tower in downtown Miami. That is where we expect to learn the charges against Raúl Castro. We'll be right back.